my favorite thing is that, like, so these are three young men from New York City. Two of them are brothers, and then one's just like a guy, just like their friend.
Don't be hating on that setup, Aaron.
I mean, I was gonna say shit. Fucking Condo Kettle Black over here.
Aaron's like, who's the weirdo that hangs out with siblings all the time?
What a fucking loser hanging out with siblings. What a fucking dork. Welcome to Bible Boys, a podcast where two ex-evangelical siblings and an ex-Catholic non-sibling watch Christian media and either praise or condemn it. I'm Aaron.
I'm Josh.
And I'm Michael, and you're watching American Bible Challenge.
This week we spent a lot of time with Jeff Foxworthy as we discussed the aforementioned American Bible Challenge. Before we learn whether Nicodemus is a patch to help quit smoking, please be sure to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, like and comment on our video, and follow us on Twitter at The Bible Boys.
You know, traditional conservative misinformation about medical devices, it's an IUD, not a patch to quit smoking.
Obviously.
Now, I know a lot of you are very interested in the chronicles of Josh watches the wrong thing for a little bit, or for the entire time. So I want to let you guys know, I watched a good chunk of episode 1 of season 1, because I watched this on a streaming service called Pluto TV, because I lost my Netflix subscription, because I'm a little dumb. Michael's looking at me weird, because
I'll have Netflix, Josh.
You have an account on my Netflix.
Yes, but here's the thing. I have anxiety. And thought, well, that's what would push him over the edge to make him hate me. So I decided to watch this on Pluto TV, which meant every commercial break, I got a commercial for every MTV show.
Great.
Sometimes
next
all
week
at
we're
once,
watching Teen Mom.
Great. Good.
And Catfished. And I believe those are the only 2 TV shows on MTV anymore. But also, I started with episode 1, season 1, because, again, little dumb, just a tiny little bit sprinkled in there. And it's unfortunate because we get in the first 5 minutes, you might be a redneck, and we don't get one in this entire episode. And it's upsetting because, like, it was coming up, and I literally in my apartment alone, like, cheered. I was like, we got one. We got it. He said the thing. He said his thing. It was like when Cap said Avengers Assemble. Same level of excitement.
We didn't get...
I'm worried about you.
Yeah, I mean, that says a lot about your mental state currently, so sorry about that. We didn't get quite that level of catchphrase. We did get a fucking reference to Larry the Cable Guy in season 3, episode 1, which I thought was something. It was certainly something. Yeah, I mean... Go ahead.
We got to kind of guide the audience into a little bit of what this is. And I want you to imagine if Family Feud met all of the writers of Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon. Like, you know, all of those bits that go online that your uncle or aunt shares with you? And they're like, oh my god, look, the kids, they're crying over their Halloween candy. Oh my god, we made these people feel bad that they don't know where America's Samoa is. How dumb are they? Those writers all teamed up together with my dad, and they made a TV show about how good you know the Bible. And that's what you got here.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically just like the setup is that you have 3 different teams, and each of these teams consists of 3 people, and they are competing to get the prize, which is, in the one episode, you compete for a prize of $20,000, but if you, like, win the entire season of the show, you get an extra, like, $100,000, I think. So, like, you can make a pretty good amount of money, but, like, that's the reason that they're competing, and, like, they basically just answer Bible trivia. It's really a very straightforward premise.
I believe it all goes to charity, like a charity of their choice.
Yes.
Which, like, is a very positive thing, because some of these charities are like, we want to build a new church, but a lot of them were, like, cancer research or food for the poor. So, like, that's dope.
Yeah, we'll talk about that when we talk about the families from season 3, but I was like, oh, is this show sucks, actually. This show is not, this is bad.
Oh, I do just want to take a moment because I mentioned his name before, and if this show was like rebooted today, it definitely would be Steve Harvey as the host, right? We're on agreement.
No.
No.
Absolutely not.
Steve Harvey's
he's
way too raunchy.
But his whole thing is that, like, man, I love God, and you should only respect your wife. Anyway, I've been divorced multiple times.
No.
Do you think that the average Christian in America is going to accept a multiple divorced black vegan man to host the American Bible Challenge?
I'm saying a certain type of Christian would be all up on it.
Yes, but not, I think, the demographic of American Bible Challenge. Fun fact, Mr. Harvey did beat out American Bible Challenge for an Emmy, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Foxworthy lost to him for, like, best host.
Best host with mustache.
Best host with questionable morals.
I'm going for that this year.
Damn it, me too. Audience, we tried really hard to do an all-mustached cast this episode, and I'm not going to say who was our holdout, but one of us was a holdout.
I don't look good with a mustache. It gets in my cereal.
Let us be the judge of that.
I'll find a picture one of these days. I'll send you all. But yeah, let's talk about the three people who are competing, the three teams that were competing for season 3, episode 1. We have firstly Mercy Chefs, who go on to win the episode. Their whole deal is that they got really inspired by Hurricane Katrina, I guess, and they wanted to like create like this mobile unit to go to disaster zones and create meals for people who were affected by some sort of disaster and couldn't feed themselves. And I think they're pretty cool. I think it's a little bit of a strange. What they wanted to do was they said they wanted to buy these 40-gallon skillets with the $20,000 they'd win from this episode. Which Jeff Foxworthy makes the comment that that's a lot of gumbo, because they're from New Orleans originally, and he says that a 40-gallon skillet is about one Larry the Cable Guy frying pan, which is...
Oh, you want to pause for laughter, because I'm sure a lot of our listeners are maybe driving, so maybe pull over for a second, just to let...
We don't want to endanger
calm
them.
yourselves.
I don't know how many screenshots y'all took, but like every single time I took a screenshot, it was the audience doing the most pained laughter I've ever seen in my life. Like, some of the people in the audience looked like they'd rather be electrocuted.
Oh man, I'll get into it once you're done talking about everybody, but some of the audience noise, I'm just going to talk about it now. So, sometimes you need to have little cue cards for what noise the audience should make. And it had the same issue that Maury has on daytime television, where sometimes he'll be like, this man cheated on his wife, and everyone will boo. And then he's like, but he made it better, and then they all cheer, but some of them are still booing. The same thing would happen here, where you get like some awe, like if something bad happened, while some people are clapping, and it makes it seem like they're like, yeah, go Katrina, do it again. Yeah. So like it was really confusing about what tone they're trying to set.
Those are all George W. Bush voters in that audience.
I mean, that's just true.
That's just a fact.
Do y'all have any other thoughts about Mercy Chefs?
They're all dressed like chefs.
Yes, we love a theme.
We do love a theme. Actually, I wanted to give them points for being on theme. Like,
nobody else was.
Yeah, like everyone else was kind of like wearing whatever they wanted, which like fine. But I love a theme. I love a group costume. I really like any excuse to like make my loved ones dress up is just like my kind of thing. Like if we went on this show, if like this show was rebooted and the three of us got to
be contestants, the Bible Boys trivia team.
You better believe I'm making both of these two dress up.
No, what would you make us dress up as? What would our theme be?
I need to think about this. I mean, there's a part of me that's like, we should just go as God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Ghost. Like, I'll wear the crown of thorns. Aaron, you're gonna wear a fake beard, and then my wonderful sibling is just no. You're gonna wear a sheet with 2 holes cut over the eyes and be a literal ghost.
Can I at least be the Charlie Brown ghost so people don't think I'm racist?
Yes. I want like 7,000 holes cut in that.
Biblically accurate ghost.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. God. I was going to say we should just go as characters from the Judas music video.
So I'm still going as Jesus.
Yeah, no. I want to be
leather and chains. I do think that we would win the podcast edition. Like, we're definitely beating the McElroys. No way Last Podcast on the Left is going to beat us. What's the other one? My Favorite Murder. We're definitely crushing those two. Like, we got this. No one's beating us. Joe Rogan?
Joe Rogan can't read. But good Christian fun, and probably the Jennifer Cheek and Tim Lanning's new podcast, Tribulation Farce, would give us a run for our money. But
and then Mortified
that would be a good competition. Let's make this happen.
Can we actually do? Listen, that would be such a good. Oh my God, this might have to be off the cast, but we need to do this.
Well, I'm working on it. Let's talk about the second team. Lift Your Voice. This is where, like 5 minutes into the show, I was like, "Oh, this is a bad program with bad morals." So. This is a family of like 7 people. Like it's like a dad, a mom, and I think the brother-in-law is the third dude. But like they care for like 7 kids, including a daughter who has mucopolysaccharidosis type 3B or MPS. Which is a lysosomal storage disorder, which is progressively neurodegenerative, which is, it is a, hugely destructive disease, and it's, causing great amounts of, disability for her. They name the team Lift Your Voice because people with MPS lose the ability to speak, which is, okay, sure. I mean, they're, clearly they're trying to do it for a good cause. They are trying to, raise money for the MPS Society, right? They're not doing it. None of these people are doing it because they want to get anything out of it besides like donating to their charity, which, like I think is better than a lot of the stuff we cover here. Like it's not necessarily profit driven. But yeah, I was like, oh, they're going to make these people compete against 2 other folks so that way their daughter can like get extra support. Like that's a little bit fucked up.
It's honestly, like a lot of people think the idea of, oh, they're competing for charity, like, oh, all the money goes to a good place. That means that the audience, both at home in the building, have to think, man, do I want people that go through like a bad hurricane and lose their house and loved ones? Do I like hope that they get food? Do I hope that like this terrible disease that like really hurts a lot of people gets cured? Or do I cheer for cancer getting solved? Because if I cheer for one, I'm hoping the other 2 don't happen.
Yeah, and can we just talk about, there's like some dramatic irony to them fighting over $20,000, which is like nickels and dimes.
That's like one pretty like average medical bill if you have, if you see a specialist and get a pretty, normal surgery. Like I in 2016 I spent 3 days in the hospital and that bill was $10,000. Like, and that was without any major procedures. Like $20,000 is not very much money. And it's just like, wow, this is, the fucking game show. This was the most popular show that the Game Show Network ever had. Like, it is a little bit fucked up. They're just like, yeah, we're just, you're all going to go competing for $100,000, which is nothing. Anyway, shall I talk about my personal favorites, Fashion of the Christ?
Yes!
This is they should have started with these guys, let's be honest, because the energy that they bring after being like, and now we struggle every day to make sure our daughter gets the care that she needs to survive. Anyway, I design outfits for all these celebrities.
The
Nicki
whiplash.
Minaj, Beyonce. I love that we got, like, some real celebrity name drops here.
The total whiplash was incredible. And they just rolled with it. Yeah, but, like, notably, my favorite thing is that, like, so these are three young men from New York City. Two of them are brothers, and then one's just, like, a guy, just like their friend.
Don't be hating on that setup, Aaron.
I mean,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Shit. Fucking calling the kettle black over here.
Aaron's like, who's the weirdo that hangs out with siblings all the
What
time?
a fucking loser hanging out with siblings. What a fucking dork.
He's like, man, those siblings sure do get along. That other guy's just kind of there, huh?
I hate myself. I'm a fucking idiot. Oh my god.
I thought you were doing that as a bit.
No.
I'm fucking crying. It's so early in the cast for me to be crying.
No, these questions. Jeff Foxworthy's jokes fried my brain in a way that I don't think I'm gonna get back. But they rule. I mean, like, they're just so high energy and fun, and they just, like, love talking about their cool fashion job. But, like, their whole charity is, the two siblings, their mom unfortunately passed away due to lung cancer complications. So their charity is, United Against Lung Cancer. They want to give out, 38 lung cancer screenings, which, like, again, really highlights how little $20,000 does in America. Like, that's, like, lung cancer is, like a hugely problematic and a terrible disease, but, like, thinking about how many, like, months of rent $20,000 would pay, and then realizing it's less than 40 lung cancer screenings, it's just like, man, I wish that we had fucking real healthcare, huh?
Jeff Foxworthy is worth about $100 to $150 million.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just, random fact I thought it would be fun to put in here. There is, again, this show did not know what to do with the footage they got from that last group, because they're like, I guess we put it at the end after the sad stuff, and then they show up and they're like, when our mother was able to when she found out she had cancer, it was stage 4, and we honestly think that if we get this money, maybe we'll save some other people's lives, because she didn't really have a chance, and we want to give that chance to other people. Anyway, Jeff, make that funny. Make it funny, Jeff.
Anyway, you want to smell this horseradish?
I forgot about the horseradish.
The Lift Your Voice team they, like, pull out a jar of, like, special, they call it supersonic horseradish, and they make Jeff Foxworthy smell it on stage, and you know what, actually, that's worth, if I lost, all $20,000 to make Jeff Foxworthy smell something that I just brought to the studio, I think it would be worth it.
What are we making Jeff smell, y'all? What do we... What do we bring it to make? Oh no, Aaron, keep going. Michael looks like he's got an idea that will make both of us want to die.
I have no idea. I want to hear Michael's idea.
I mean, I'm bringing a little bottle of Rush. Jeff Foxworthy is doing poppers with me on national television, y'all.
Not the gay drug.
We haven't even talked about the fucking quiz.
If you become part of my family as you do poppers with me on a game show.
If you don't know what poppers are, you might be a straight one.
Oh, if you want to hear Michael teach me what poppers are, I think that was that our fucking Roe v. Wade episode?
I think it was, because I wasn't there.
It was.
Oh my Christ.
I found that out with the audience. It was wild.
Oh my Lord.
That
Anyway.
was such a fun time.
I do want to point out that in the first episode, one, there's no musical host, and by musical host, I mean a man who leads a choir. Kind of interesting that he got, like, his face on the intro, which we need to talk about the intro once we are done. But also, one of the team names is Josh's Place. And at Josh's Place, they're currently having their church at an abandoned roller rink, which brings up Jeff's good catchphrase: if you're having church in a roller rink, you might be a redneck. And honestly, it's sorry, forgot to leave room for laugh track there.
I'm laughing at Jeff's, like, inability to recognize how badly he's punching down.
It's not good. I understand, like, wanting a comedian that talks about stuff you understand, but every time he talks, I'm like, hey, I'm related to a lot of people that go through that. Don't be mean to them.
It's really just like, oh, you guys are poor. That's funny.
I'm pretty sure my uncle does go to church at a roller rink.
Like, listen. Wherever two are gathered in my name, right? That's all it is.
Whether two are gathered in my name and just ripping the craziest tricks.
Also, like, okay, I don't want to be, like, an asshole here, but, like, Jeff Foxworthy, I don't think, as someone who is, and, you know, I've talked about this before with fucking J.D. Vance, if you are one generation away from, like, Appalachia and, like, redneck, maybe it's not your joke to make. He was born in Atlanta. Atlanta is not the foothills of Appalachia. So...
This is like finding out Larry the Cable Guy is from,
I'm
like, Michigan.
I'm more of a fucking redneck than goddamn Jeff Foxworthy! God damn it, I was born in fucking nowhere, Indiana. Are you kidding me, Jeffrey?
Me and Michael spent, like, multiple summers on top of a mountain. Like, our mom just brought us to the top of a mountain where our great-grandparents lived.
Dropped us off with a bunch of strangers. We lived the visit. That's why we're like this.
That actually makes a lot of sense. Can we please talk about the actual fucking quiz?
No, we can't.
Let me talk about the intro for a second. Give me just 1 sec for the intro. It's the loading screen from Assassin's Creed where you run around in the purgatory, but with spiritual quotes floating around you, while Jeff Foxworthy playfully touches them and looks at you like, I'm a little scamp. Anyway, Aaron, start the show.
I would actually love for somebody to mod that into every Assassin's Creed game. That would be awesome.
But it's just Jeff Foxworthy instead of the assassin.
Yeah, instead of Ezio, it's just like... Oh my lord. Okay, they start out this awful show. It's not... It's completely passable. It's completely fine. But they started off with this segment called Faith Book, where they create...
Aaron, you gotta give him longer to laugh. You gotta give him longer to laugh.
It's not... They even fucking lampshade it by saying, like, I'm not speaking with the lisp. I'm saying Faith Book. And it's like, yeah, we get it. That's the joke. Is that this is biblically themed. Thank you, Jeffrey. But, like, the whole premise is that they're like, okay, you know, we're going to have 3 people from, you know, the Bible. We're going to make up fake profiles for them. And we're going to basically, like, show them, post a status, and you have to guess, like, who they are or, like, answer a question. How did you all do on this?
I did fine. I also say I was cooking while I did it, so, like, it wasn't the top priority.
That's fair.
Because we are two sides of the same coin, I was in the gym while I was watching this. Calories in, calories out. I did fine. Like, I thought the last one was easier than any of them made it. And I was actually kind of surprised that they ran out of time. And when they were like, Joshua and I think that conquering the city, blah, blah, blah. And they were like, I know, Joshua. Because we all know everyone named Joshua refers to themselves in the third person.
Joshua's do that.
I mean, I love Fashion of the Christ, but they got their fucking asses handed to them this entire game.
Just crushed and creamed. It's rough.
That was rough. But like, I think the thing that you're referencing, Michael, what is the question?
Oh, that's the next one. That's
the next one.
Whoops, I'm skipping ahead. They all kind of ran together for me. Faithbook did mention my girl Esther, but did not give her a profile because of sexism.
This is the Xerxes one, right? Because they have this profile that says, "Hey, loyal citizens, I need a new wife. All pretty girls come to a beauty contest at my palace tonight. I'm picking Persia's next top queen."
That's just a Crypto Bro tweet.
I guess. I mean, it's just nothing.
Is Tyra Banks hosting Persia's Next Top Queen? Because I would watch that.
That would be pretty good.
This one was by far the most, like, okay. And I was a little nervous when this started, and I was like, we're going to have nothing. Because this is just a multiple choice. Like, this is Sunday school, again, when they gave us tests. I don't think they ever gave us a test in Sunday school. They just told us we're going to hell. But it just was so nothing. And that's why I think Michael went to the next game, because it was at least weird as fuck.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, I love to skip ahead in all of our content to the things that I find, like, more enjoyable or less boring. I'm just like, I actually don't want to talk about Faithbook or Facebook.
I want to point out, Aaron spent like 5 minutes trying to get me and Michael to talk about this fucking show. And he was like, all right, we'll start talking about the show. And then we skipped 15 minutes ahead of time.
Listen, the show is surprisingly, has very little substance. It's just Bible trivia. But like, there is some weird stuff here. So the thing that's weird about this segment, which is called You Don't Know Me from Adam, is that they put like pictures up on the screen of like people's faces, and then they animate the eyes and mouth, and they have them speaking. So like this guy, I think he's talking about how he calls himself the biblical hillbilly. And he says, "Love them hills. My son-in-law and my nephew are one and the same." And then just call me Agent 00 Testament. When it comes to talking fortified cities, Joshua and I think we're Cain and Abel. Like, that's the level of writing we're getting here. And like, I wouldn't have got this one. So props to you all who got this great joke. But like, yeah, it's very strange.
The reason that Michael and I got it is because my cousin's name is Caleb, and we're right around the same age. So it was, I mean, we played Sneak into Jericho to, end up massacring the population a lot.
Love to play genocide with my cousin.
Yeah, as you do.
That's just what Cousins is for.
That is what Cousins is for.
Yeah. But any other segments stand out for this?
I have to talk about Dude Bro Jonathan.
Oh, yes. Yeah, the fucking straightification of Jonathan.
Yeah, they were like, what if I made him, like, what's like an anti-himbo? Like, the negative himbo.
I mean, I think they're trying to make him like a skater/surfer.
Yeah, to try to move away from the fact that, like, he fucked David. And
yeah,
at one point, he was like, my bro David, and I'm like, let's not. Jeff, don't do this to me, Jeff.
Jeff is doing it to you.
Jeff did it to me.
It's funny because I also struggled, and now I'm like very uncertain which segments anything are going in, because I really am living in a rival timeline where future is past, present is future, everything's a flat circle. I communicate in Squid Ink, but anyway,
that's what we're making Jeff smell.
Yeah. No, I'm making him smell poppers.
And the arrival. That's what I'm bringing. I'm bringing the arrival Squid Ink.
But when they were like, Hagar was a surrogate, I'm like, surrogate? That's what we're calling it now. Okay.
It's
all right.
Interesting euphemism.
They didn't mention it once. Like, I thought, okay, they're only going to mention it once because it's so obvious that they're like trying not to say like, yeah, she was Hannah's handmaiden, and then like, kind of got fucked and got pregnant, and then was set to like chill out in the desert because she got jealous, because that's how that story goes. But no, they were like, surrogate. She offered herself to be a surrogate. And the like little biblical in vitro where like an angel with all of its eyes comes down with the giant needle and is like, all right, I'm gonna take this and put it here, and you're pregnant.
Be not afraid, you may feel a small pinch.
That would be a great anime you're describing. I want to fucking write that.
Someone should just animate all of our podcasts.
We do need like My Favorite Murder has MFM animated where they animate their stories. I do feel like a lot of our stories deserve animations.
Okay, the next segment is there's not like a lot here. It's just very funny. It's called Shuffle Lord.
Oh yeah.
And like the whole thing is they have like books of the Bible printed on these discs, and they have to like throw them into the score zone a la shuffleboard. And like I think that the last team, Raise Your Voice, like got or Lift Your Voice got a very easy one, because it's just like it was like, name like books of the Bible that have like less than 3 chapters or something. I'm not sure, but like the way that it's books of the Bible that mention the Apostle Paul, which is like, okay, so basically all of them. And what they ended up doing was just fucking throwing as many discs as they could into the score zone.
Which feels like the actual strategy. I was like so annoyed when the first team especially was like, oh no, not this one, not this one. I'm like, fuck that. I'm not reading a single thing. I am just tossing this shit. I'm
grabbing the bowl and launching them all at once and then turning to Jeff and going, done.
That was pretty fun. They had a segment called Christ or Klingon, where they made you check whether or not like a word they were saying was either Aramaic or the Star Trek language Klingon.
Don't other languages isn't it so funny how other languages sound silly? It's so silly.
I was gonna say, like, I can't quite put my finger on it, but this one seems a little kind of racist.
I can finger it. I got you. Don't worry. I'm fingering it. It's fucking racist as shit. It's so it made me so uncomfortable, because it's like baby's first understanding that other people talk different, and it drove me nuts. I'm ready for Aaron to go, I didn't hate it.
I didn't hate it is the thing. I mean, like, here's the thing. I don't think many people speak Aramaic anymore, right? So I don't think they'd be like, oh, it's funny that, this group of people has a different language. I think they're just like, it's Star Trek, or maybe it's just a funny word that Jesus said. And like they even say that like one of the words they say is like, oh yeah, this is an actual word that Jesus said in the Bible. So like, I really don't think that it's like coming from haha, these people sound different. It is just it's just an incredibly wild thing to be like, you know what fucking Protestants and evangelicals and all denominations of Christians love is Star Trek.
And also, famously, the Bible written in Aramaic. So like, if you read the Bible, you'll definitely do well at this game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I have some bad news.
Oh no.
Based on just a quick little Google. The last speakers of the Aramaic language died in 1998.
Wow.
So, they were bopping around for a minute. I mean, it.
And the last Klingon speaker died this year. I'm gonna get him.
All right.
Give me enough time.
Josh is gonna murder all the Star Trek nerds. All right.
Aaron, you skipped the most important segment.
No, this is happening now. The most important segment is
happening right now. Okay.
Christian Mingle presents. It's
Christian Mingle presents Jeff Foxworthy's version of Jimmy Kimmel on the Street.
Yeah, it's basically just like, hey, complete these Bible quotes. And they just go up to randos and they're just like, hey, complete this segment. I don't even remember what the name. Do y'all remember what the segment is called?
No,
because I just kept thinking of it being called Christian Billy on the Street, where Billy Eichner yells at a bunch of New Yorkers. And I was kind of hoping it would be more combative like that, because that would be my version.
Okay, just imagine Jeff Foxworthy running up to someone dressed up like Jesus and going, "Do you know who this is?" Like, that would be so fucking good.
It's called Manna on the Street, actually. and it's a very
Again,
bad
Aaron,
segment.
you gotta pause for laughter. Our fans are gonna be crashing, crying, going the wrong way in traffic.
I hope not.
We don't
I hope
have
that
that
our
many
listeners
fans.
have better taste than that. So there's only one part of this segment that was really good, which is when they come up to a bunch of like little school kids, and they're like, okay, it's better to sit on the corner of a roof than to share a house with blank, and they're just yelling the wildest shit. They're like, strangers, a bad angel, the devil, Satan,
Ghosts.
I like the kid that was like, I wouldn't like to share a house with a ghost, and they counted it against them. Like, what? I mean, I would. That kid was like wrong in many levels, but.
But then they go up to, like, a ton of these fucking boomers, and each one of them goes, my wife.
Yes, every single other person is just like, oh, it's my mother-in-law. I don't want to hang out with my mother-in-law. I hate my wife. It's just like, I can't believe we're still doing this.
Look, no offense, like, present company excluded, but straight people have one joke, and it's like, God, I hate my wife, and then their follow-up joke is, and those fucking kids. And it's like, okay, no one made you have a wife and kids. In fact, it's better for all of us if you don't.
And then you got the third one, which is my mother-in-law, and then the fourth one is my wife is just like her mom. So it's just the same joke with different, like, paint.
Listen, I think that Borat is not a very good show, but I do think that the best joke in Borat is when he talks about how he wants to sleep with his mother-in-law, because of the way that it subverts that stereotype. So if you all
I was buckled in, Aaron. I did not know. I thought I was on the Champlain-Lara plane, and I was like, all right, I'm going down.
This is it.
I see the lake in front of me.
We're thinking, like, man, Aaron's ending this one, so, like, he's gonna keep in this wild shit.
We'll see. We'll see if I keep
And,
that one in.
Narrowly, I feel like we just, like, narrowly, I felt the water hit me for a second, but we're back in the air.
I haven't seen Borat, is the thing. I just know that one joke.
That's the joke you know, and not the people making the voice.
What voice?
He's trapped me. I do want to point out that even though all of those boomers are like, man, I hate my wife, the Bible beat him to it. And the answer is like an annoying wife, a wife who talks back, something like that.
Quarrelsome wife.
Yeah,
Quarrelsome.
exactly. So, like, they unfortunately, like, this one's on Paul.
As we say every week.
Yeah. Every problem in the Bible is Paul's. Every problem in this country is Reagan's. So, by transitive property, Paul is Reagan, Reagan is Paul, and I'm glad they're both dead.
I've often said Paul is the Reagan of the New Testament. Often.
I'm just thinking about how many times that's been said unironically in American history, and it's probably not zero.
I'm trying to think of the amount of times my dad might have said that unironically, and I think the answer is probably not zero.
Oh, rip to your dad.
I love saying in front of that man that Paul was an incel.
I like saying in front of that man, I could fist fight Ronald Reagan.
So, the update on the plane analogy. We are now flying the plane. The Green siblings are flying it. But
I've never
neither
been
of
in
us have
control.
any pilot
I've always
training.
been the co-pilot that's just buckled in screaming.
Like the dude next to the twins.
Okay. The last segment is, like, surprisingly anticlimactic. Basically, they just do the Family Feud thing, except they just pick 3 answers out of 6. And they...
Well, the other person
Only
still
one
stands
person
there.
participates.
Yeah, that's... Yeah.
They pick their chosen one.
But, like, instead of Family Feud where they leave, I guess they didn't have the budget for a backstage, so they just make the other person stand back, like, in dim lighting. So they're standing there like a fucking, like, Freddy about to stab, like, some camp counselors or some shit. Or,
They
sorry,
make
Jason.
him wear a dunce cap.
Okay, so, of course, we have to, like, who would be our chosen one?
Of us 3?
Yeah, in our game when we go meet Jeff Foxworthy, who are we sending up to? Who's our chosen one? Who's leading us?
I think it might be Michael.
It's got to be Michael, and I don't say it because I think he knows more about the Bible. I say it because I think if he got him wrong, he might argue.
I would argue. I would argue even if, like, I knew they were wrong. I'd be like, actually, it does say that. I would, like, gaslight Jeff Foxworthy, and he would give me the answer right, because he'd be like, oh, wow, that must be right.
Yeah, you're actually using the wrong translation here.
Yeah.
Our dad would be so proud if you were like, that's the wrong translation. King James only, baby.
Is your dad a King James only guy?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
Like, honestly, like, if that man learned Greek and Hebrew, it would be, like, original text, baby. Like, it would be like, what's this English translation bullshit?
Like, if I told him, like, how some Muslims treat the Quran and it's, like, where you shouldn't translate it, he'd be like, oh, fuck yeah, let's do that. This is for ancient Greek, baby.
Your dad's gonna single-handedly revive Aramaic.
And then the show will be racist.
There we go. Retroactively. God. And then they just do like a speed round at the end and it's fine and the other team wins. I mean, that's basically what happens. It's a fine show. I don't know. I didn't
like that we got a final revelation about the Song of Solomon, though. Like, just like the horniest book in the Bible, they were like, how did she describe her lover?
That's true. The options were eyes like doves, feet like athletes, loins like lions, legs like pillars, chest like iron, and lips like lilies. Which is all very good. We'd love to talk about.
Two of those
Song
are
of
pretty.
Solomon.
Two of those are good.
Okay.
Which ones?
Legs and chest. If somebody has... Because when I hear eyes like doves, I think they have eyes like a dove, which are tiny little beady black eyes.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I was like, has the writer of this actually seen doves' eyes? Because they're dead.
This is like when a man writes about, like a woman, when, like
Breastily boobling down the stairs, yeah.
Like, I don't want my lover to have eyes like that.
Yeah, I mean, do we have anything else to touch on besides the great horny bits in Song of Songs?
Watching the... so how it works with the last thing is that, like, all three of them are up there, and it goes one by one by one as Jeff asks his good questions. And watching the other two faces of the people, as, like, one of them says skip or gets it wrong, as the other two just, like, shake their head in disappointment, gave me the most anxiety anything has ever given me before. I felt bad for those people, because I know that's a long car ride home where it's like, give us this day our daily toast? Toast?
You know, like, all I could think of is with that one is there are certain Bible stories that I would just slay. Like, I would be able to answer every question, like, no notes, no studying. And then there are some that I'm just like, I don't care enough to remember, so lost on me. I mean, thankfully, like, Sermon on the Mount, which is the one that we watched, is a pretty simple one.
Can I just say, and we've had this issue before, it's come up multiple times, and it will throughout my life. I don't know what's in the Bible, what I was told was in the Bible by the weird Southern Baptist churches we went to, and what I think is in the Bible because of what my weird dad told me was in the Bible. Some of those things are the same. Some aren't. Some are not.
I want to do an American Bible challenge with you where I ask you specific questions that are meant to trip you up with those things.
Because, like, up until, like, 2019, I thought it said in the Bible that, like, the mark of the beast was, like, a barcode. Because that's my dad's weird tinfoil hat theories about how retail and numbers and Deuteronomy, it's just some weird shit in there.
I realized that my fatal flaw is that I know more about the Apocrypha. Like, if you asked me about, like, the Gospel of Judas or the Book of Enoch or, like, the Lost Book of Mary Magdalene, I got this shit. But you ask me the textual stuff, I'm like, that's boring. Ask me about the Nephilim.
That's the thing, right? Is that the interesting stuff that you actually want to talk about in the Bible does not make for a good game show?
Oh, it makes for an excellent game show.
Can you imagine if Jeff went up there and was like, what did Lot's daughters do to him in that cave, and just watched as, like, 9 people stared slack-jawed, and, like, one or two of them know.
Like, hey, Jeff, we don't really talk about that.
Lot's wife turned into a pillar of blank.
Lot's daughters got him drunk, and then, like, yeah, Mr. Foxworthy, how do you want to address that one?
That's when you get Steve Harvey, and you have to swap out Jeff for Steve, and then you can get a nasty host and who loves it.
Nasty American Bible Challenge After Dark. This one starts at 7 p.m.
All right, how would we, if Bible Boys was given the $1 million that we needed to run this particular show, how would we structure our own American Bible Challenge?
Ooh.
I got it. It would just be like the American Ninja Warrior, where they have to go through all the obstacles.
Does that...
No, that's it. Yeah, it's just that.
So there's
But,
like
like,
a Bible thing. This is just American Ninja Warrior, Josh.
No, but it's still a ton of... It's like pastors doing it.
Okay, never mind, that rules!
This is the Hunger Games Mega Church edition.
Like, that's the thing.
I want Joel Osteen to get wet and hurt.
That's in my fanfic. I'll send that to you later, Eric.
Thank you, please.
But could you imagine Mr. Olstein and then that weird guy who said demons fly coach just like trying to do the ladder thing where you go up by doing pull-ups. But if they don't, they lose all it. Like every minute that goes by that they don't finish, they lose $1 billion.
I would like that. Like, yeah,
and we don't give it to charity. We burn it. We commit a federal crime every episode.
Well, maybe not that. Maybe they do get donated to charity. Although it would be very funny to be like, hey, here's a water bottle. Here's $1 million of your dollar. We're going to set your car on fire at the end of this obstacle course, and you have to come and put it out. But you have to make it through the obstacle course first.
Thankfully, all of them do get an option where if they don't want to do the physical challenge, they just have to get a camel through a needle. And if they can do that, man, they're done. They get to keep all their money super easy.
Very good.
Excellent.
Do we have any facts about this great program?
I got one. I'm gonna drop a link.
Oh, no.
Because...
Bad start.
Did you all know that this existed?
Michael.
The board game. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, it's unavailable. Fuck.
I'm sure we can find it.
It looks so goddamn boring.
It looks cursed.
For those of you listening, which is all of you, it looks like a sorry board, but like, it's it. It looks like a sorry board.
Okay, I have one on eBay right now. How much do you think it's going for used?
$12.
I'm gonna go that this is like a hot commodity. I think this is $60.
Michael is closer. It is retailing right now at $17.99.
That's cheaper.
Okay.
The shipping will be $21.50, however. So
what the fuck?
I might just
don't, Joshua.
Next paycheck. Maybe
Please.
next pay. Listen,
Respect yourself.
Oh my god.
More than
it would
this.
fit into my collection of. Why did you buy that?
God.
I did set up a little Bible trivia game for the two of you.
Please, yeah.
A
Let's
little.
go.
But instead of "you might be a redneck," occasionally I will be dropping in my catchphrase, which is "you might listen to some podcasts."
Oh no.
So there are 5 questions, and they get more difficult as they go on. I tried to really change. I looked these up because I didn't want to go off the top of my head, because every Bible fact I know, Michael also knows. So I tried to keep that in mind while pulling these out. So just, we'll say, give me a ding when you have your answer ready. Who was the first son Abraham had?
This should be easy, huh?
That's the easy one.
Ding.
Yeah?
Jacob?
I'm pretty sure I know it, but...
no, you are incorrect.
Ding.
Yes.
Esau.
No, this is Ishmael.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, that was an easy one. Now,
Good start.
Great. Love that for us.
This one's fun. How did Saul die?
Saul.
It's something brutal.
If you need help, he was the king.
Before David, right?
Yes. His son was Jonathan, who slept with David. Can't convince me otherwise. How did Saul die?
His daughter was David's wife, so...
His daughter also... Man, that's rough. He fucked... David fucked a lot of his kids.
Ding, ding, ding. I'm gonna say, stoned to death?
No, that would be Stephen.
God damn. I'm gonna say that... I know this isn't true, but I think he drank himself to death.
You are incorrect, but I'm gonna give you the point because you are a lot closer. He fell on his own sword like a loser.
Yeah, I thought it was something dumb. I thought, he, fell off, something, or, did something stupid while he was drunk, but I guess I made up the drunk part.
Whoops!
I'm just only a drunk person could be I'm gonna fall on my sword.
Now we're sticking in the same time period. How did David kill Bathsheba's husband?
Oh, ding, ding.
Oh, I think Aaron beat you, Michael.
I disagree with that strongly, but go ahead. That is incorrect, but
I think
fine.
we can split this point because this one's really easy. He made him go into the front lines and battle, and he got his ass kicked.
You're missing a component there.
Okay, maybe Michael, you can steal it.
Because he did send it to the front lines, but then something else happened. Do you know it, Michael?
I don't know what you're looking for, is the problem.
Because it's not that he just sent him into the front lines.
And then he called in an airstrike.
And then nuked him. He told all the other soldiers to leave.
That's really good,
I forgot about that.
Yeah, so he was like, yeah, you guys all go to the front lines, and then when the dude walked away, he's like, no, listen, just go fucking run. It's gonna be so fucking funny. This dude's last thoughts are gonna be, man, I'm glad no one's sleeping with my wife.
Cool.
This one should be pretty easy. What famous queen came to visit Solomon?
Fuck, what's her name?
You are killing me.
Fuck, no, this is killing me. Fuck. The eunuch. I even know the country.
Hey, give me the country, I'll take it.
No, I feel very strongly I need to figure this out.
Do you want to take a crack at it, Aaron? I'll give you a hint. It's not Queen Elizabeth.
Thank you for that. I was going to say the Queen of Ethiopia.
She does come to visit. Michael, do you want to try to be more specific?
What's her fucking name? No, I can't be, but her eunuch meets him and is like, you're nice to me. And then this is why, the Apocrypha is that Ethiopia became a Jewish nation.
Yes, so it's the...
Sheba.
Yes! Queen of Sheba, yes! Watching Michael get that was impressive.
We had to, think out loud. That's really all that had to happen.
And this is the last one. Who conquered Judah and took Daniel to their country?
Ding, ding, ding.
Yes.
Babylon?
Yes. Last question for Michael. What name of a Babylonian leader did our father gaslight me into believing I was almost named after?
Oh, I know this one too.
Oh, Nebi!
This is, of course, Nebuchadnezzar, yeah.
As we all know, Brian Greene looked at his very young and impressionable son and said, we almost named you Nebuchadnezzar. And I went,
my poor little sibling was so perturbed that their name was almost Nebuchadnezzar. But honestly, that would be such a cool name.
I'm just saying there's a lot of times in my life where I hear someone yell, hey Josh, or hey Joshua, and I turn around along with 18 other people nearby. So Nebuchadnezzar Green, I'm not going to deal with a lot of other...
That would be a fucking sick name. Are you kidding me?
It would kind of be funny if they kept the middle name too. So it's Nebuchadnezzar Tyler Green.
Tyler. All right. For a bunch of people who do a podcast called Bible Boys, I don't think we know very much about the Bible.
The boring parts.
That's true.
Hey, Saul fell on his sword. That's funny.
It's pretty
Must
funny.
be about making kids be eaten by she-bears. Like,
Yeah,
That's
but
the
y'all
good
know
shit.
that. If I said, like, what fantasy creature shows up in Job, like, I would be disappointed if neither of you knew.
That's
unicorn, leviathan, dragons.
either Behemoth or Leviathan, right?
A unicorn is my favorite, though. Job 39:9.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, sick.
Job 39:9, may a unicorn serve thee or abide by thy crib. It's deep in my
Cool.
heart.
Cool. Let's rate this experience.
I'm going to give this one, if you ironically watch Christian television, you might be a podcaster. Pause for
Thank you,
laughter.
Jeff. I'm gonna give this Pope 119 Vitalian. Not great, but could have been so much worse.
I'm resisting asking you why and moving on. I am going to give this one mustached camel because I just can't think that Jeff is going to fit through a needle's eye.
I sure don't think so either. When we are not trying to figure out which member of the Blue Collar Comedy Tour is going to get into heaven, where can we be found on the internet?
Bill Ingvald. But I'm at Green History on Twitter.
I'm at Michael's Diamonds on Twitter.
I'm at Aaron SXL, where I tweet about tabletop RPGs, health policy, and writing. Listeners of this podcast might be interested in my newest tabletop game, Forsaken, a Left Behind-inspired Wretched and Alone solo tabletop journaling game, where you get to try to survive the apocalypse as depicted in the, end times in the Book of Revelation. It's a weird one, but I think it's a fun one, and I had a lot of fun writing it. So if that's something that's interesting to you, check that out. I do another podcast with my friend Layla, that's at Mortified Pod. We just hit our 100th episode, where we reviewed 5 Disney sequels. And the best was The Lion King 2, and the worst was, you have to listen to find out, but it was really, really bad.
Did you like The Horny Lion?
The Horny Lion was excellent. We love Horny Lions.
Just had to make sure.
A lot of energy was spent on Horny Lions. But if you all are disappointed that we didn't work any Horny Lions into this trivia episode, just remember that it is okay to cry, because even Jesus wept. We'll see you all next time.